Hello, I'm This Ring and Android. If you are a regular viewer, then you know that I've been away at camp for the last 3 weeks, and while I'd hoped to keep up my regular schedule, that just wasn't possible. As I am home now, this week's video will be a special catch-up This Week in Android that will cover the last 2 weeks' Android news. Let's start off with some general Android news. The Android 2.2 or Froyo source code has been released to the delight of developers and hackers alike, and Android 2.1 now takes up half of the Android fragmentation pie. It has been reported that Gingerbread, or Android 3.0, will be heavily focused on UI, and is rumored to be launching side by side with Google Music sometime in October. You can finally view Google Docs on your Android phone. The Nexus One has recently cameoed on the season premiere of Entourage, and was being used by none other than the King of Hollywood himself, Ari Gold. Just something I thought you guys would all find interesting. And finally, here are 2 stats that made me giddy with glee. Remember in May how at Google I.O. it was reported that 100,000 Android phones were being activated every day, and that Android market had hit 50,000 apps. Well, at Verizon's Droid X event, it was announced that those 2 numbers have now increased to 160,000 phones activated every day, and 68,000 apps in the Android market, which by now will probably be 70,000 plus. Those numbers are seriously astounding. As always, let's start with some app news. Wonder Radio has been released on Android. If you are unaware of what that is, it is basically a streaming audio app that has over 50,000 channels, such as AOL Radio and BBC. Or Live, the media streaming service, has recently launched on Android and is available for $9.99. Fuse Meeting, a business tool that makes it easier for employees to connect with each other, has recently launched. This app has great features perfect for enterprise use, and they include having the ability to view shared desktops, listen and watch high-quality video and audio, and even share your own images and videos to everyone else in the meeting. I believe the app is free, but the pricing for the service does vary. Check out the details at fuzemeeting.com, F-U-Z-E meeting.com. Amazon has finally released its own Kindle for Android app. IMDb is now available for Android at last. For anyone that cares, Yahoo has recently launched 3 Android apps: Yahoo Search, Yahoo Mail, and Yahoo Messenger. Frostwire, the P2P desktop service, is looking for willing alpha testers to take their Android app for a spin. You can find out details by following the link in the bottom bar. According to MobiTV CEO, Android will be seeing their app very soon. That's just another major app that Android can proudly hold high. For everyone wondering what exactly Adobe Air for Android will be, you're in luck. Recently, an early version of Adobe Air and 2 demo Adobe Air apps for Android have leaked and can be downloaded and installed on all Android 2.2 and 2.1 devices. Those links are in the bottom bar. I have to say I was impressed by the apps I saw, and I can't wait to see more. And the final piece of app news is actually a statistic. Recently, it has been reported that 51% of Android apps are free, and only 28% of iPhone apps are free. I knew that there were far more free Android apps, but I didn't know that the difference was that much. You've all probably heard about this thing here. The Samsung Galaxy Tab, not the tape, the Tab, which is of course Samsung's iPad killer, and which will be due out Q3 of this year. So far, all we have are rumored specs, but recently Engadget has received 2 new pieces of information from a very reliable source. The device is said to be as thin as the iPhone and will have a full phone functionality and running Android 2.2, or Froyo. In case you forgot, here are the rumored specs. 7-inch Super AMOLED LED screen, 1.2 GHz A8 processor, and a 4000 mAh battery. 370 gram weight, 16 GB of onboard storage with up to 32 GB of microSD expansion. It seems there's also a front-facing camera. Cisco is officially moving into the tablet market with this, the Cisco Sios, which will be a tablet specifically for business and enterprise use. What Android version it is running is not clear, but the confirmed specs are 7-inch high-resolution color screen, an Intel Atom 1.6 GHz processor, 32 GB of flash memory to store marketplace apps, a detachable replaceable 8-hour battery, 802.11a Wi-Fi compatibility, Bluetooth 3, 3G 4G data, Cisco collaboration apps, an HD sound station, HD audio, 720p HD video with Cisco telepresence for video conferencing and integrated security. I can't help but think this will be a huge success in the business market. Finally, LG has announced that their tablet will be launching in Q4 of this year. There honestly couldn't be more phone news. Remember how a little while ago I reported that Motorola was going to build the superphone to end all superphones, and that will come up at the end of the year with a 2 GHz processor running no other than Android. Well, HTC wasn't about to let Motorola have mobile supremacy without a fight. So in comes the HTC Sabor, something which will give Motorola's superphone a definite run for its money. It's supposed to be launching for Sprint by the end of this year or earlier next year, and interestingly enough, HTC is reportedly going to manufacture their own displays to compete with Samsung's AMOLED technology. The phone will of course have a 2 GHz processor, 2 cameras with one being a 10 megapixel featuring 1080p video recording, and it will have a built-in kickstand. And of course, it will be running Gingerbread, Android 3.0. Just the thought of a superphone battle of this proportion gets me excited. The Motorola Flip Out may be coming to AT&T, and I told you so. The HTC Legend has launched on Bell, and Cellular South has announced the HTC Desire. So this week, the Samsung Galaxy S press event was held, and we got to officially see each network's specific Galaxy S. Literally every major carrier is getting its own Galaxy S. AT&T gets the Samsung Captivate, Verizon gets the Samsung Fascinate, T-Mobile gets the Samsung Vibrant, which is the only phone with an official price release date. That is July 21st for $199. And Sprint gets by far the most unique one, which is going to be the Samsung Epic 4G, which has a front-facing camera. I should add, it's the only actual Samsung Galaxy S that has a front-facing camera on the major US carrier networks. All of the same features of the Samsung Galaxy S, all of them have it, like the 4-inch Super AMOLED screen and the 1 GHz Snapdragon processor. And while the design may be different, the only phone that really changes things up would be the Epic 4G, which brings a sliding keyboard, front-facing camera, and 4G support. I never thought I would see the day when a phone would cost $120,000, and I was almost positive the day that phone would not run Android. Well, I've been proven wrong. Because this thing, right here, the chairman is studded with 2,000 diamonds with ceramic trim embedded into an 18-karat white gold shell. What kind of person needs this phone? The Sony Ericsson Xperia X8 is now official and will come with a 600 MHz processor, Android 1.6 with Mediascape and Timescape user interfaces, a 3-inch capacitive HVGA touchscreen, and a 3.2 megapixel camera, and more. I refuse to report on the supposed photo of a slide-out keyboard HTC phone, which they are dubbing the Vision. As a reporter, it is my duty to shift out the BS, and it looks so utterly fake and crappy that there's no way it's going to be true. Also, it turned up in Croatia. I don't think many people live there. And this was one bit of BS that needs sifting. LG wants a little piece of Froyo with its recently announced Optimus One and Optimus Chick, both of which, of course, part of the new family-friendly Optimus line that will run on a range of operating systems as well as Android. We don't really have much details about them at this moment other than the fact that they will be launched with Froyo. Someone managed to get a hold of the Samsung Intercept, the Samsung Moment successor, which is a QWERTY. This phone has a QWERTY slide-out keyboard with a 3.2 megapixel camera, a 3.2-inch screen that will support a resolution of 800 by 480, but sadly no Froyo. With a screen that small and a resolution that high, it will look fantastic. What you are looking at right now is the Motorola Charm, or T-Mobile Basel, whatever, which will be running for $199, but a release date has not yet been announced. It looks like it's running Moto Blur, and looks somewhat like a BlackBerry. In case you are wondering, I was saving the Droid-related news for last. The big news this week, of course, being the official announcement of the Droid X, which will be available on July 15th for $199 after rebate. Like all Droid phones, it will of course be on Verizon, and like all Droid phones, it will have a standard to live up to, which the reviews have been raving it is. If you haven't already pre-ordered it, too bad, because Best Buy is reporting that it is already sold out of pre-orders, and is now taking "we will send it when we get it" orders. The Droid X will be getting Froyo later this summer. And finally, in Droid news, the original Droid is rumored to be getting Froyo and, of course, Adobe Flash at the same time on July 13th, and the Droid 2 is rumored to be launching August 23rd. These are, of course, rumors and speculations. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for the latest in Android news, and next week I will be starting again on Monday. The video will be launched on Monday or Tuesday. Mostly, probably Monday. So, thanks for watching. I'm Mr. Android. Subscribe for the latest in Android news. Hope you guys enjoyed this.